Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back. I'm coming at you hot off the presses. The market just closed a minute ago. I wanted to get this video out there as soon as possible. So let's do a couple things today. Today is going to be an AMD themed episode. So welcome back to the AMD News Network. We're going to talk about the market overall. I'm going to talk about what I did not do on my position on AMD today. I'll update the technical analysis on AMD, give you some price predictions for what I think will happen, and I will tell you why. So let's get right into it. Look at the heat map here. Kind of a red day on the board, right? There's a lot of green, but that's really because we rallied in the second half of the day. The morning during this trading session was very red. Take a look at big tech. Amazon 3%, Google down over 1%, Facebook almost 2%. Apple was pretty much flat. They had a little bit of a news event today. Microsoft was down over 3%, but take a look at the semis. Nvidia, again, down over 6%. AMD, down almost 5.8%. The Honey Badger also down a little bit. Intel was kind of flat. Qualcomm also down 1.2%. Qualcomm's been on a tear recently. But like I said, the focus of today's episode is going to be on AMD. So let's get right into it, and let's take a look at the Robinhood graph here. So take a look at this. AMD, even pre-market, was already down over 1.2%. We opened up, and from basically 9:30 a.m. at market open up until about 10:45 a.m., AMD was already down 6.5%. AMD just got crushed. Now, I do want to point out, if you've looked at some of my other videos, you know that I said I've noticed a pattern in AMD where in the first 5 minutes, it'll move hard in one direction, and then it'll reverse direction up until about 10 or 10:30-ish, and then that'll kind of be the peak for the day, and then it will kind of cool off. As we can see, that did not happen today. So this is just a good reminder that even if you find a pattern that works 5, 6, 7 days in a row, that does not mean that that's how that stock is always going to trade, right? There's a saying that it always works until it doesn't. So today was the day that it would not have worked. I mean, if you looked at it and said, okay, at 9:45, we sold off big. So then according to that pattern, we should have a reversal and then bounce back up. Clearly, we never had that reversal. We just continued selling off up until 10:45. But at 10:45, we did have a little bit of a bounce. We started rallying kind of up until a little around 1 o'clock, sold off a little bit. Then we basically were just choppy all day long. But like I said, we closed the day down over 6%. We're kind of flat during after hours trading right now, but we're literally 3 minutes into after hours trading, so not a lot of data to go off of. But because AMD sold off, it was bittersweet because I own 200 shares at $85 a share, or at least that's what I was assigned at. So the sell-off, right, AMD is trading at $78 right now. It's hurting my share value. However, I also have 2 covered calls on AMD that expired December 24th. So 44 days from now that I sold, or I basically rolled into them, and they were worth at the time $2.96 a contract. So if I were to let them expire worthless, they would get me $2.96 times 2, so $592 in max profit. But these options, let's go to the options chain, were for the $90 strike. So I would also collect $500 per option, or I should say per contract, in stock appreciation. So let's just take a look at what that's trading for right now. If I wanted to buy that call back, let's just see, we're scrolling all the way up here because we're so far out of the money right now. It's only valued at $1.46. So I sold them for $2.96. I can buy them back for $1.46 today. And that's a net profit so far of $1.50. So I am already 50% profitable on these options in 2 trading days, and I still have 44 days left to go. So if you follow the tasty trade method, you're telling me right now, Solo, you should have closed these things out, locked in those 50% profits, and then open up more covered calls tomorrow. And I agree with you. I was debating whether I should do that or not all day long, because even early in the morning, I was already up around 30 to 40%. And then slowly, just because of theta decay and AMD kept selling off, I got up to 50% profit right before the market closed. So I was really debating, should I close these out and then open new covered calls? Or should I wait it out and see what happens tomorrow? I chose to wait it out and see what happens tomorrow, not because I was getting greedy. Well, maybe a little bit because I was getting greedy, but mainly because I was looking at the technical analysis chart and I looked at the option flow on AMD, and everything was kind of showing me that we might have another red day on AMD tomorrow. So let's take a look at that. So here's the trading view chart on AMD, and you can see, first of all, we were in a downward trend up until about November 2nd. Then we started getting really bullish between November 3rd and November 6th. We had a sell-off yesterday, not that bad, but we did have a red day. Looks like we found support right at this level at about $83. We were still trading above the pink line, which is the 50-day moving average, and the orange line, which is the 21-day moving average. So that was still looking pretty good. However, today we had a huge sell-off, like I said, over 6%. We not only broke below the 50 and the 21-day moving averages, which is a bearish sign, we broke through this level of support that I identified at around $81, this area of support around $79. And if you look at these blue lines here, the reason they're blue and not yellow, because this is a gap that I identified from November 3rd to November 4th. You can see we gapped up from about $77 to about just shy of $79. And the interesting thing is today, you can see we're trying to fill that gap. So part of the reason why I think we'll have another red day tomorrow is because we didn't completely fill this gap. We didn't get all the way down to $77. And the other interesting thing is the RSI, surprisingly, is not showing oversold. So again, between the RSI and us not filling the gap, it makes me think that there's still more room to drop, unfortunately. Now, the interesting thing, where we close today, I think there might be an area of support right here. So I'm going to draw a yellow line. And I say that because right here at $78 is where we close today, but it's also where this candle topped out on October 29th. And if I zoom out, you can see this candle here, September 25th, topped out there. This candle here, September 14th, topped out. This candle here bottomed out September 8th. So I think that $78 may actually be an area of support. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Meaning, do we actually bounce up and off this area of support, or do we continue this drown trend? My gut and my technical analysis is telling me that I think we're going to continue the downtrend. And it's not just based on the technical analysis, but I also looked at the option flow data today, and let's take a look at that right now. So here's the option flow data on AMD today, and you can see all the red boxes represent put orders, the green boxes represent call orders. So basically from 9:30 a.m. all the way up to essentially market close, if I scroll up here, you can see the vast majority of option orders that got put in by the big money investors were puts. And they're all January 15, 2021 options, but you can see some of these are 75, 70, 62.50, 67.50 puts. So that tells me that the big money also thinks that AMD is going to keep dropping. So between my technical analysis, between this option flow data, everything in my opinion was pointing to another red day tomorrow. And if that occurs, that means my option is going to be even more profitable tomorrow. So I want to see what happens tomorrow, because maybe I can get to 60, 65, or even 70% profit on my option tomorrow, and then close out by getting a little bit greedy and squeezing a little bit more juice out of my premiums. So we'll have to wait and see, but that is the reason why I decided to hold my options overnight and see what happens tomorrow. Now, we're going to end this video with a little bit of news that I saw, because Tesla is now partnering with AMD. And I'm actually surprised that this didn't cause a nice little boost in AMD stock. So let me show you that article right now. So here's the news article from electric.co. And you can see it says Tesla is looking to switch to AMD Navi chip for onboard computer, leak shows. So I don't know. I think this has got to be just good news for AMD, because the more companies and the more products that use AMD, it's just going to boost their stock value, boost their revenue, and hopefully boost their profits. So I don't know. I'm hoping tomorrow we have a red day on AMD as the TA and the option flow data shows, but I do think that it's not going to stay red. I think we will bounce back, just because it seems like every day only more and more good news is coming out about AMD's company and their products. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me know how your trading day went. Hopefully it wasn't a red day for you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And as always, happy trading.